This ain't the only piece of Vancouver Canucks trade talk that we're going to go out there and explore in this video. Not only was the previous video on this channel a conversation about Bo Horvat, Noah Dobson, Matthew Barzal, and the like, but this video commentary is going to go over some of the extra thoughts that have been circulating mostly throughout this market. I want to make another video later in today's show talking about guys that the Vancouver Canucks have confirmed trade interest in. But for now, let's stick to what's happening within. Because there have been a number of different talking points that the Vancouver Canucks have been a part of. A lot of them starting from that altogether social media sponsored ad that they had. This was a pretty big deal in the minds of Vancouver Canucks fans who are paying attention to this team and just try to analyze what the team's mindset is. Because they posted this sponsored post on social media, all together, we're better with you behind us. And it includes Sherwood, Quinn Hughes, some fans, alongside of Connor Garland and Jake DeBrusk. No Pettersson, no Besser, no Demko. This graphic was kind of a big deal because you had Frank Saravalli going out there and saying on the radio, hey, I had at least one GM talking to me asking, hey, why is Pettersson not on that graphic that Vancouver posted? Again, self-inflicted wounds here by the Vancouver Canucks social media team, not putting Elias Pettersson on a graphic, which sparks a whole bunch more conversation about this guy and his status within the team. As a result, this was posted about and talked about by Patrick Johnston on The Province, how there were two glaring omissions in the Canucks' current marketing campaign. Yes, Pettersson is missing from the Canucks' latest marketing imagery, but Thatcher Demko is missing too, and that's very notable. This article will be linked in the description. It goes out there and talks about how Pettersson and Demko were not included. And then PJ writes this. If you click on the Canucks season ticket membership website, the video that plays at the top does not feature the visage of the team's best player, just a fan sign that features his number. Is that because he's on the trade block? Maybe. Is it because his image carries too much negative connotation for fans right now? Perhaps also. Either way, what a spot to be in, given where Pettersson's star was 18 months ago when he was one of the NHL's Stars of the Month. You can't even market a guy who is supposed to be one of your most marketable stars? That's one thing to note. The article goes out there and talks about how Demko was not in the Canucks promo video as well, and how it does make you wonder if Demko is quietly being shopped around. One league source said that trading Demko made sense to them since he is a solid trade chip, even if he is coming off of multiple seasons in a row with injuries, and he could help bring back the kind of number 2 center the Canucks openly covet. Another source said management is looking to get rid of the emotionally soft, diva, drama-type, cancerous players without doing a traditional rebuild. Line that up as you will. My goodness, what a comment. Emotionally soft, diva, drama-type, cancerous players. I mean, I wouldn't assume anybody in the Vancouver Canucks locker room can be described with those words, but if there are guys like that, it seems like the Canucks are trying to get rid of them. Whether or not that is Pettersson or Demko or whomever, I don't really think that those words qualify to describe some of those names, but either way, this seems to be a talking point. And I want to say seems to be because a few days after the Canucks posted that social media ad and after the fans got on the Canucks behinds, it seems like the Canucks redid the ad and posted it all over again, now including Demko and Pettersson instead of DeBrusk and Garland. I'm not too sure if this is 100% accurate or if it actually happened or if Jim Leahy, Hockey Night in Canada on Twitter, is just trolling here, but it does seem like the Vancouver Canucks did revise that graphic. They wanted to put PD and Demko in it, and a lot of it has to probably do with the fan response to their exclusion in the first place. Now, this is not only a trade update video on Petey and Demko, which you could debate whether or not there even was a trade update here. I just thought it was super interesting to dive into how analysts are now writing about how they could be potentially on the block because of their exclusion from that social media ad. But one of the other aspects of the Vancouver Canucks that seems to be in play is their 15th overall draft pick. You might have noticed this, but the NHL Scouting Combine took place over the past few days here, and Rutherford and Allvin were actually not there to attend. Instead, Rutherford and Allvin were checking out potential practice facilities, as was posted about and talked about by Ryan Baines a few days ago. Canucks brass checking out the Rosemary Brown Recreation Center in Burnaby as a potential practice facility. And in the picture, you can see that Allvin and Rutherford are there. They aren't in Buffalo talking to the prospects. They are not scouting the prospects. They are not getting interviews done. They are here. And a lot of folks were going out there and saying, okay, well, it's good that they're now trying to get a practice facility, although I do question the location because Rosemary Brown Rec Center is quite a ways away from downtown. It's pretty much in New West. If you wanted to label it out there on a map, it's really close by. But at the end of the day, you know, having a practice facility is probably better than not having one, although I do kind of wonder what does that mean for all the fans that watch at UBC. Anyways, this was a trade idea tossed out there by Vancouver Canucks News Summaries. It was a pretty common idea, but I like the way that they went out there and posted about it. It wouldn't surprise me if the Vancouver Canucks have a trade in place involving the 15th overall pick and players in Abbotsford. It's extremely odd that Allvin and Rutherford are not attending the Combine, and the Canucks aren't trading a player that is currently playing in the Calder Cup playoff run. And this would make a lot of sense. Why are the Vancouver Canucks not in Buffalo scouting the prospects and potentially investing resources into the guy that they could choose in the 15th overall spot? Well, it could be because they don't plan to actually use the draft pick. They could already have a trade in place. They could already be thinking about guys to move. They can't really trade anybody on the AHL roster right now because I don't know if you had noticed, but the Abbotsford Canucks, they've been doing pretty well. They're in the fourth round of the AHL playoffs. They are one win away from potentially suiting up in the finals. They ended up losing game number 5 earlier yesterday, so that is unfortunate, but still, the playoff bracket itself, it's 3-2 Abbotsford. All they need is one more win against the Texas Stars, and then they could play off against the Charlotte Checkers in the finals. But none of those guys should be available for trade. I think the Canucks management being a little sensitive to the fact that their Abbotsford team is doing very well, it's pretty good. I respect that a lot, so they can't and they shouldn't go out there and make a trade with these guys. So, 15th overall pick? Could that be in play? Seems like it probably would be, considering the Canucks aren't really putting much effort into scouting the prospects. What are your thoughts on Elias Pettersson and Thatcher Demko? Are they potentially being shopped? Some NHL executives seem to think that they could be on the move here. And with that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about all these Vancouver Canucks ideas? Next video on the channel is going to be about guys that the Vancouver Canucks have confirmed interest in. Players that have been talked about as legitimate Vancouver Canucks targets. This video I wanted to focus on was more just about the pieces inside the organization already who could be shipped out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks and their current status of operations, and what are your thoughts about that practice facility? The Rosemary Brown Recreation Center in Burnaby, or close to New West, is particularly new. I think it's only been there for the past 2 years, something like that. I don't know, it's the newest arena in the city, they say. So with that all in mind, it really just depends on if the facility itself has all of the proper resources for an NHL team. If not, then I think it's a lot easier to just pay the money to put a gym in there or to improve the equipment or whatever instead of renovating a whole bunch of land and building a practice facility from scratch. So with that all in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.